For the 7 generations who have come before me and for the 7 who will come after me, I want to start off by acknowledging where we are right now. Yanawana, place of sacred water. My friend Lara Valera told me a story that it is here where indigenous people lived and converged. The story goes with the 4 sacred springs, Comal, Barton Springs, Guadalupe, and the San Pedro. When they came together under a supermoon, the water shot up into the night sky and gave birth to the critters and humans, and that is how life began. And many moons later, I was birthed by a mother who taught me at a young age not to always believe what I was sold. So we muted the commercials when they came on the TV and said, no, thank you. We don't need your products. We won't fall for your gimmicks. We don't need your prescription drugs because we don't have that illness. We are happy and we are healthy. And unless you live off the grid, it is almost impossible to get away from ads and commercials. There is even a whole South Park episode that points out and eerily makes fun of how much the internet and social media constantly is trying to sell us something. We can't escape it. It's all around us. But what are we being sold and why? So for many years, I turned the TV and even spent a year not listening to the radio so that I could hear my own thoughts, my own personal commercials. What was I selling myself? What messages, ideas, constructs, paradigms was I allowing mainstream media and society to sell me? I asked myself over and over again. I started to read books that enforce the power of thoughts like Think and Grow Rich and The Power of Positive Thinking. These books served as a good place to start, but I needed something more. I couldn't completely relate to each of these books. So I looked for women and people of color authors to read. And my mom introduced me to Deepak Chopra and Louise Hayes. And the book by Louise is one of the most powerful books that I've read and still read continuously. And it taught me how to heal my thoughts and connect my body to my thoughts and my mind. Then later, the book, The 4 Agreements, was published, and it resonated with me even more because it was an indigenous perspective. And I remembered, in Lakesh, I am you and you are me. That's what the word means. And it reminded me how that it is one of the oldest affirmations from my ancestors in Lakesh. And through danza and meditation, I slowly began to rewire my thoughts. It wasn't easy. I read in a book that it takes that 98% of the thoughts that you had yesterday are almost the exact same thoughts that you will have today. So unless you change how you think, you will keep thinking the same things and receive the same results. It takes a lot of work and concentration to retrain and rewire the brain. Even after many years of my monitoring my thoughts, it sometimes didn't feel like it was enough. At times, it feels like the world is not made for brown women who are strong and smart and loving and brave. When the walls seem like they are all around us, holding us or pushing us down, we must help each other. Ask your comadre for help to remember who we are, where we came from, and where we're going. So I asked a few women who are close to me. I wish I could have included many more in this presentation. I asked them, how do you get through the day? How do you survive in this world that is built more for men to succeed, especially the white, rich ones? What do you tell yourself? My mother would say, la palabra sagrada. Words are sacred, powerful, speak gentle, think about what you are going to say. La palabra sagrada, she tells me, a simple affirmation of just 3 words means so much. Then I asked my dear friend Denise. She says, today in all my interactions with others, I will seek to see into them at the core, beyond my immediate judgment and biases, to further a genuine connection based on mutual understanding and respect. That's her affirmation that she says every day to herself. Then I asked my friend Miley, who's a friend, migrant, queer woman of color studying immigration law. She tells me, she gave me 3 of them. She said, live life like you are a mediocre white man. I will survive and strive in this world that was never meant for me, because in the face of any struggle, my existence is an act of resistance. Anel Flores, a writer, poet, educator, also a queer woman of color, said, I will no longer feel ashamed of my stern face, my thick skin, my hanging panza, my short hair, or my small breast. I am the two-spirit Omoteol. I step out firmly. I step out knowing this is our land, our space. I got it. I own it. I am my authentic self. I am not alone. I asked my sister-in-law, Selena Moreno, who's a lawyer for MALDEF, the Mexican-American Legal Defense Fund. She says, today is going to be a great day. That is, no matter what the day may bring, I have the power over how I receive it. That is her affirmation. Next, I asked a friend, Susana Ramirez, who's also a queer woman of color, a professor, curandera, writer. She says, I am the sweet song my abuela hums when life feels heavy with unsung prayers. I am the smile on my partner's face when I was born. And I am the smile on my parents' face when I was born, and I am not alone because my ancestors love me. Kieran Carr Barnes said, racism, sexism, and all the isms are real. There is no greater affirmation I can give myself than to believe I am stronger than the world will ever have me know. My other friend Pollyanna, I asked her, who was also a trans, queer, Chicana friend, poet, musician, journalist, and blogger. She wrote, I can do this. I can do this because I am Pollyanna Rocha. I am my mother's daughter, and I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. This presentation, public service announcement, is for you brown girls and women out there. Don't buy and believe what the racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic institutions and medias are selling you. Make your own commercials to play in your head. Sell yourself on your own self-worth and self-power. And when you need support, there are always others of us close by, ready to lift you up. To all my relations, gracias.